Yo, welcome to another emergency podcast. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Jim Rosati. Jim, big news tonight.
Huge news.
Major news. No, for real. I mean, this is the point we're at. When a trade like this happens, you have to break it and go live and talk about it. So I'll tell you what, I was behind. This was like 45 minutes done when I came to the group chat and I saw your message. Hey, are we going live about the trade? And I was like, wait, a trade happened? So I've been like catching up on it now. And I mean, I've done my research for as little as it is, but let's put it out there. So the Royals and Pirates came to a trade. So the Royals are trading Edward Olivares. Olivares? Is that
Edward Olivares?
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the Pirates are giving up Deivis Nadal. Is that also right?
Deivis, yeah. It doesn't matter.
Okay. So there's the trade. So I guess just real quick, let's just touch on it 5-10 minutes, maybe, just to, again, just to kind of hit on it. But I guess what are your thoughts on the trade firsthand?
So first off, Edward Olivares, he's righty bat, got some power, can't play defense, but he's a major leaguer. Like he's a decent hitter. He's been an above average hitter each of the past 2 years. When I first saw the move, the first thing that popped in my head was this guy's basically like another Connor Joe. I wouldn't necessarily say like they're similar skill sets, but as far as from like what they can do on the field, probably not a whole lot different there. Olivares cannot play center field. He's a corner outfielder, strictly a corner outfielder. Again, the power is enticing, but he doesn't really do anything else all that well. Half decent base runner, maybe, but he's a righty bat who can hit a little bit, but that's it. Probably not somebody who you want to put, not somebody you want to give like 400, 500 plate appearances to. He got 385 plate appearances last season on a 106 loss team or whatever. So he's a useful piece. In a vacuum, you look at this deal and you say, you know what, Edward Olivares is a good acquisition, right?
Yes.
I'm curious to see how this fits into the team. Does this mean that Connor Joe's now your platoon at first and Olivares is your platoon in a corner outfield spot? I don't know. But he is a just fine 4th or 5th outfielder.
That's where I'm at with this as well. This is another one of those where in a vacuum, this trade makes a lot of sense. I mean, I'll go to Nadal's point. He's 21 years old and an A-ball, not doing a whole lot. I mean, giving up Nadal that's perfectly fine. I don't expect him to be anything as much. So if you're giving up Nadal to get a useful MLB player, another good move in a vacuum. It's just another one of these where you have to look at it in a vacuum point of view, opposed to like, does this really help the team? And I don't know. Like you said, it's kind of like that's kind of a good point of view. I mean, this guy's way more toolsy, I'll say that, than Connor Joe. He's got some speed, got some pop, double digit stolen bases and home runs last year. But the other aspect of it too is like it's a right-handed pull hitter in PNC. He had 12 home runs last year. If you looked at PNC Park, it also used to be 12 home runs that you would have had. If he was in, let me look it up. I think the Reds, 24 home runs. Milwaukee, 21 home runs. Chicago, 17, top of my head. St. Louis, 13. So it's one of those things where it's like, if he was a lefty, maybe it's a more enticing, but he's another righty. It's like, it's not too much more upside, but yeah, like he's a useful player. He's a 4th outfielder, more or less. So like I don't hate this deal by any means. It's just once again when you're seeing the Royals make nicer moves and the Pirates are making this move to fit their guys on the 40-man. That's the downfall of this, I guess. Big
I think the
picture.
only thing there's nothing really to dislike about this move. Like
Right.
he's fine, right? Like he's fine. He even has an option remaining too. So like if you if you don't have room for him, you can send him to AAA. I think there's going to be room for him. The one downside I guess I could see here is if they're planning on this guy being like a short side platoon guy. Maybe this is the platoon, the Sawinski, right? And right
Right.
field, and they're planning on signing an everyday center fielder, and then Connor Joe is going to be the short side platoon to route at first base. So I don't know if that's the plan, or are they planning on Sawinski being the everyday center fielder, and they're going to go out there and they're going to find the left-handed right fielder like a Jock Peterson type guy. If this is like the platoon to a Jock Peterson, then I'll take that over like a platoon to a Joshua Palacios, right? So
That was yeah.
I guess that's my thing right here is like I think this move means there's something else that needs to happen. And that something else is either an everyday center fielder or a lefty corner outfielder. Like they need one of those two things to kind of complement this move.
Maybe. Maybe. I also
Yeah.
can look at it as the Royals needed to make a move to again, they have a 40-man crunch in the signings they had, and the Pirates capitalized on it. Because I you brought up Palacios, and that's what I was going to bring up. I feel like I would much rather have him than Joshua Palacios on my team right now. And again, like that's where this club is at currently. Like Joshua Palacios is pretty much part of this 26 man the way it's currently constructed. So like this bumps him out. I feel much better having.
This move doesn't bump Joshua Palacios out of the 26 man.
What do you mean by that?
Like as of right now, the way this roster is constructed, Joshua Palacios is still on the 26 man roster.
But I guess where I'm at is without this move, Joshua Palacios is certainly this one.
Not necessarily.
Okay, well, regardless, he's an upgrade over Joshua Palacios. You know what I
I
mean?
agree.
Like that's what I'm
Okay,
getting.
I agree.
Like worst comes to worst, he's an upgrade over Joshua Palacios, and that's where you're at as far as the depth part. So like however the outfield plays out, you can now afford to like not have Joshua Palacios, and that's why again, like I like that he's a useful player. This is depth. This is quality depth. I do like the deal in itself. I don't know if it necessarily means there's something else coming, but what I say is it certainly means like I feel better about him than Joshua Palacios on my 26, and that's certainly what it can mean. But yeah,
I bet another move for an outfielder has to be coming, or else Joshua Palacios is still on the 26 man.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, so this is a move for an outfielder. They need to do something else because obviously this isn't an everyday guy.
Right.
But he's a useful piece. There's nothing really to get upset
Again,
about with this one.
for sure. So again, I guess kind of just rattle off the numbers before we do leave here, right? Last year, again, 385 plate appearances. He batted 263, 317, slugged 452, a 105 weighted runs created plus, positive WAR. There's a step in the right direction as well for this club. So yeah, so it's again, it's a fine trade. It's something that happened. Guess we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and like from a power standpoint, 452 slugging last year. There's currently 3 players on the team that outslugged that, and that was Reynolds at 460, Sawinski at 454, Hayes at 453. So he brings some pop.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't walk much, but also doesn't strike out much either. Something of note. So that was something the Pirates did tend to do a lot last year. So
Awful defensively though, in left field. So maybe right field's a
Yeah.
little bit of a different story.
maybe.
Either
way, that's all we pretty much have on him for this point in time. Anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I don't think so. Just a quick reaction to the trade. It gets a thumbs up from me. Like there's not really anything to be upset about. It makes the team a
Did you
little
know
bit better.
Did you know StreamYard does this, by the way?
Oh yeah, how about that? No, it gets a thumbs up from me. Obviously they need to do more, but this is a fine acquisition.
Right. Well, then there's that. So with that said, let's go ahead and get out of here. If you're watching this live, in 40 minutes, we'll be live. Well, not really live, I guess. We're premiering Fort Friday, so you can watch that. We'll be back again. You have something coming out tomorrow as well, right? Your NS9 cards? No?
Nope, I got nothing.
Never mind.
Unless Cody wants to do some editing.
Never mind. Well, we'll definitely be back on on Monday morning for Starbucks. So we'll see you again at some time. Bye. Bye, everybody.
See you guys.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.